You must love your gallbladder. Otherwise, when eating fat, nothing will make you sadder. Your liver has a best friend. Your liver and gallbladder are in it together until the end. That's not entirely true. They cut out gallbladders all the time. What a bunch of barbarians! Why would they do that? Because they... I'll tell you why. It's a weapon. What is he doing here? What are you doing here? I didn't invite him. Would you please go? There is a long list of symptoms a person might be experiencing before a surgeon removes their gallbladder. If only there was some way we could let people know how to nourish their gallbladder and potentially prevent having it removed. Here's how to nourish your gallbladder. Take heed this advice, make applying it a pressing matter. Your gallbladder loves beets and H2O. Needs zinc, magnesium, and B6. And now that you know, you can nourish your gallbladder. Eat beets and drink water? Some zinc, some B6, some magnesium? Sounds easy enough. So what would you say to somebody who's already had their gallbladder removed? I'm sorry to hear about your gallbladder. I'm sure when you are eating fat you become sadder and sadder. There's something I think that you should know. Supplemental bile salts can help your liver now that your gallbladder had to go. Supplemental bile salts can help. Supplemental bile salts can help. I suggest Superzymes, take it down off of the shelf.
It's a whipping.
Why are you still here?
Because it's a whipping.
It's not a weapon. Not a weapon. It's an organ, not a weapon.
Oh, I know when I'm not wanted.
By the way, you can really play. Alright, so let's talk about one of the most important jobs your gallbladder has. When it comes to your gallbladder, when you eat fat, your gallbladder shoots out a product. It's a thick liquid. It's called bile. You've probably heard that word before. That bile goes on the fat and starts to break it apart into smaller pieces. And the idea here is the bile wants to increase the surface of the fat. So instead of just having these 4 sides of this piece of fat to work on, after the bile hits the fat, now it has all 16 of these little sides to work on. When that surface area gets increased, the bile actually helps your pancreas make something called lipase work better. Lipase is a little globs of stuff that helps break apart fat further, but lipase won't work the right way unless bile has broken apart the big pieces of fat. So one of the big problems we see is that people are having dysfunction inside of their gallbladder. So their gallbladder isn't making the right amount or the right potency of bile, and the fat doesn't get broken apart, and then the lipase just can't be as effective. This is one of the main reasons we talk about gallbladder health, because if we're going to break apart fat cells and actually get the benefit of all the nutrients that are within fat, we need the bile to start the process of breaking apart the fat. Let's take a closer look at that process. Here on the screen, I have the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, and at the bottom middle of the screen, you see that pink tube that is in between the gallbladder and the pancreas. That is the small intestine. In order for the bile to have any impact on the food you eat, especially the fats that you eat, it has to flow down through that common bile duct that leaves the liver, meets up with the pancreas, and ultimately ends in the intestines, where the bile can get sprayed across the food and help the body increase the surface size of those fats. And the more surface area we have for those fats, the easier it is for the lipase that's coming out of the pancreas to break apart those fats. Now that's not only going to help you digest the fats, it's also going to help you get the nutrients like vitamins A, D, E, and K to absorb better. Some of the foods that are going to help this process are beets, like I mentioned before. Drinking plenty of pure water is another important thing. And there are a couple of supplements, including magnesium, that I would like to discuss now. So what I would like to do now is talk to you about some of my favorite supplements that support the gallbladder. What you'll hear me say a lot is that there are a lot of supplements in this list that support the liver and its function, that support the liver's structure as well. So when we talk about liver and gallbladder, just like you saw in the previous slide, they are intimately connected. Anything you do that benefits your liver, it's very likely going to benefit your gallbladder. So you will hear me say that this is really good for the liver, and anytime you hear me say this is really good for the liver, you can think to yourself, and the gallbladder. So I've divided these different supplements into some groups, and it's how I keep them organized in my brain. So the first group is what I call the bile salts group. Okay. Bile salts are called biologic detergents. Okay, basically what that means is it's something your body makes that helps your body clean itself. Okay? When we take bile salts, it supports our body's ability to produce bile. I find that this is especially good whenever we're talking about people who feel bloated or like the food is just sitting in their stomach for a long time after they eat a meal. Because please keep in mind, once the food you eat gets out of your stomach and into your small intestines, that is when bile gets released from your gallbladder. So if it's a little while after you eat that you still feel like the food hasn't moved on, you might want to look at getting some bile salts going just to support the gallbladder and its production of bile. And then that will keep the food moving instead of just feeling like it's sitting there. Next group of supplements are beet-containing supplements. So the next two groups of supplements I'm going to go over are foods that I find people don't eat often enough. Okay, so the first is beet-containing supplements. So what you see here, the first one is AF beta food, and one of the main ingredients in this supplement is actually beets that are grown right at the farm at standard process. Pretty cool. Next one is Livoplex. And again, one of the ingredients in there is beets that are grown right on the farm at standard process. These two are very convenient to take because they are capsules and tablets. So really easy if you're taking other supplements already. You just put them in your pill box and they're ready to take. What I like about the Premier Research Labs beet product is that it's a powder. Hopefully you can hear that. So some people don't like the way beets taste or smell. Having it in a powder form that you can mix with a liquid or hide in a smoothie and then drink down makes it easier, and you still get all the benefits of beets. So beets are a vegetable that I find people don't eat often enough, even though there's plenty of delicious ways to make beet salad or roasted beets, etc. The second group of food that I really think people need more of to support the functioning of their gallbladder are radish. And if you know me at all, you know my favorite radish is Spanish black radish.
Now, most of you don't grow Spanish black radish in your garden, and if you walk around your local grocer, you're going to find that there is not a lot of Spanish black radish sitting on ice just waiting for you in the produce section. So that's where a supplement like this comes in hand. The Spanish black radish is something that we know supports the liver wonderfully in a lot of different ways, but one of the most important ways is its sulfur content. The human body needs sulfur in a form that it can actually digest and put to work. Spanish black radish has that form. And then next, I want to make sure that I talk about an herb or a plant that definitely supports the functioning of your liver and gallbladder. You may have heard of it before. It's called milk thistle. So, milk thistle is a wonderful little plant. It was originally found by priests who were walking around the woods and noticed a plant that had purplish brown leaves in the shape of a liver, and no joke, they thought to themselves, oh look, the leaves are the color and shape of the liver, it must be good for your liver. Now I don't recommend doing this with most things. In this case, the priests were correct, and milk thistle has some wonderful nutrients in it that help support the functioning of the liver and gallbladder. This is a capsule. The Liver ND product from Premier Research Labs is actually a combination of turmeric and milk thistle in a liquid form. So if you're dealing with some inflammation, I don't know about you, but I'm constantly bombarded with information about turmeric helping reduce inflammation. So if you're looking to reduce inflammation and support your liver and gallbladder, here's a 2-in-1. Personally, one of my favorite combinations here is the combination of the milk thistle with the superzymes, because I find all the digestive support that the superzymes gives with the liver support that the milk thistle gives to be a really potent combination. Thank you so much for watching this workshop. It's an interesting way to do a workshop. I am much more used to speaking in front of a group of people than I am in my office or dealing with those 4 other gentlemen who are in this video. Thank you again for watching. I'm going to be online now for a few minutes to take questions, to clarify anything you would like clarified. And what I would really like is for everyone, even if you're not staying for questions and answers, to write a comment saying that you were here, or saying your question if you can't stay, so that I can really gauge what's working in these videos, and then I can make better videos for you in the future. Thanks again for watching.